The crypto work from home age. A look into the future. People think the last 2 years have been freak years and that once the pandemic is over, things will go back to normal. As I've talked about before, this is not the case. Things were already changing, and all the pandemic has done is speed up the changes a hundredfold. The two most significant changes in the world are, of course, working from home and cryptocurrencies, which are both enabled by technology, and of course, which should not come as a surprise. I call the future that's coming the crypto WFH age. Cryptocurrencies are the future. Some people think cryptocurrencies are minor technologies that won't impact the world too much. They are dead wrong. If you think this tech won't spread and change the world, let's consider the history of a similar technology. The Internet. Back in the early 90s, people used to think that the internet was a fad and just something that was limited to universities, governments, and nerds. People did not know what the internet was and did not think that it would penetrate itself into the very fabric of society. Fast forward to today, and everything from work to education to entertainment has been revolutionized by the internet. The biggest companies are all based around technology. And this has happened in spite of all the journalists and PhDs who were writing articles and papers about how the internet won't scale and isn't going to fail. Let's read an article written in 1995. And the article is titled Why the Web Won't Be Nirvana. It appeared in a magazine called Newsweek, and it says visionaries see a future of telecommuting workers, interactive libraries, and multimedia classrooms. They speak of electronic town meetings and virtual communities. They say that commerce and business will shift from offices and malls to networks and modems. And the freedom of digital network will make governments more democratic. Baloney. Do our computer pundits all lack common sense? And the article goes on to say that we were promised instant catalog shopping, just point and click for great deals. And we'll order airline tickets over the network, make restaurant reservations, and negotiate sales contracts on the internet. Stores will become obsolete. So, how come my local mall does more business in an afternoon than my entire internet does in a month? Even if there was a trustworthy way to send money over the internet, which there isn't, the network is missing the most essential ingredient of capitalism: salespeople. Okay, now it's been 25 years since this article has published, and the article turned out to be a complete joke. We can laugh at it now in peace. All the things it was saying will never happen actually did end up happening. And this is where we are in the world of cryptocurrencies. Crypto is today what the internet was in the 90s, a nascent technology that's about to revolutionize everything. The internet changed everything in the last 25 years, from how business is done to how society functions. What helped it grow very fast was that it was able to piggyback off of existing telephone lines. My first internet connection was a dial up line made possible because we had a landline connection to our house. And cryptocurrency is a technology that's just as revolutionary to money as the internet was to communication. Crypto allows you to truly own your money, not have to watch its purchasing power being diluted by governments printing infinite amounts of money to serve their own needs. Cryptocurrencies are a superior product to centralized currencies, just how e commerce is superior to traditional commerce. And over the long run, crypto will become faster, safer, cheaper, and more private than traditional currency, and will retain value over time, unlike fiat money. You will have full control instead of having to rely on banks and governments to allow you to spend your money. And the infrastructure that will help it grow already exists. smartphones and computers with internet connections. Everyone has a computer with an internet connection, and everyone has a smartphone nowadays. It would not take that much effort for people to start using crypto. You don't need to buy a new line to your house or anything like that. This indicates that crypto will probably spread much faster than the internet did and will revolutionize the world at a much quicker pace. Remember that money is a social construct. If enough people agree something is money, then it's money. And we are already here in the world of crypto. El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, and several other countries are considering doing the same thing. And plenty of private businesses have started accepting crypto as payment. For example, you can buy all my products with crypto, you just have to send me an email. And if you don't know what Bitcoin is or how it works, I recommend taking my completely free course in crypto available at teachyourselfcrypto.com. teachyourselfcrypto.com. Also, the second thing I wanted to talk about in this article was working from home is the future. Just as with the internet, many people think work from home is a temporary phenomenon, but they are also wrong. Work from home is here to stay. This is less a question of technology and more a question of economics. It is much cheaper to run a company without having to pay for office space. Which business would you rather own? A business that has to pay for an office and hire employees from one geographic location, or a business that does not require a physical office and can hire the best talent from anywhere around the world? You will pick number 2. And this is not even up for debate. No rational person would pick a business that has higher costs and lower flexibility. While there are situations where work from home might not be the most appropriate thing to do, like a new startup, the overwhelming majority of desk jobs that exist in the world today can be done from home, especially if you are working for some kind of established company. Analyst, you can work from home. Accountant, you can work from home. Coder, software engineer, HR department, you can work from home. And the smart employees and the smart employers know this. And it's true that many managers prefer having an office space, but that is simply resistance to change. Just like how older people today still prefer printed paper over reading documents on a computer. I remember that I used to have this guy in my old office who was very old, and the way he would write emails was he would write the email out on paper and then give it to his secretary to type it out. And that's just resistance to change. It does not mean that the present system that he's using is better. The way you will see it play out is that after the pandemic is over, many companies will call their employees back to office, but then eventually allow them to work from home again in time, as they are not able to compete with the competitors who run their operations cheaply with WFH and have access to better talent. And of course, it goes without saying that some of the best talent in the world can and will only work from home. And that's because they live in a different location than the company, or they have alternative employment that does offer work from home which they prefer. And of course, there will also be some employees who do not want to work from home, which are usually middle managers who aren't adding enough real value and need to make up for it in FaceTime, or just people who find themselves working long, lonely hours day and night. But these problems are temporary and will eventually fizzle themselves out. The middle managers will be fired because businesses will soon figure out how much one person is contributing to the company. They will be able to figure out ways to manage and measure individual productivity and realize that these middle manager types were not adding that much value and were consuming a lot of resources. And the people whose problem is that they have no clock out time will eventually end up finding better jobs that have better boundaries, or they will draw their own boundaries on what times they work and what times they do not work. Working from home is cheaper for both the employer, who has to pay lower salaries, have access to better talent, and does not have to pay for office space, and the employee, who does not have to commute, doesn't have to buy formal clothing, and has more free time to spend on his hobbies and with his family. So, work from home is here to stay, whether you can adapt or not. And finally, this leads to one conclusion that is almost cemented as far as I can see. Governments will have to compete for productive citizens. Do you know how governments today are trying to incentivize businesses to incorporate and manufacture in their country because it brings them much needed tax income and jobs to the locals? Once people are free to live and work from wherever they want, governments will have to compete for the cream citizens, the entrepreneurs and skilled people. Think about it. Let's say that you are a high income person who can work from anywhere in the world. You get paid in crypto, which you can spend anywhere you like. Would you rather live in a place with high taxes, or would you rather live in a place with low taxes? Would you rather live in a place with good law and order, or would you rather live in a place where it's unsafe to go out? Would you live in a place where it costs 80% of your income to live, or would you live in a place where you can live a great life in only 20% of your income? All of these are questions that people will have to answer for themselves. If a government wants the best of the planet to live in its territory, then it will have to offer compelling reasons for doing so. The time where people just didn't have a choice is gone. This is the dawn of the new age, the crypto work from home age. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and do like and subscribe. Have a good day.